So just like the previous video, we're now going to look at another special type of linear equation. It's called a contradiction. And a contradiction is an equation for which there is no real number that would result in a solution. So an identity was where it didn't matter what we put in for x, but here there isn't going to be a real number for x that will make the equation true. So let's take a look at an example of this. So let's say we have x minus 5 equals x plus 3. You see that if I put, I don't know, let's say 1 in on the left-hand side for x, if we put 1 in for x, we're going to get negative 4 over here, and we're going to get positive 4 over here, so that's not going to work. If we put 5 in, we're going to get 0 and 8. You see, nothing's really going to work. So now let's take a look at how we would see this again. In a normal problem, it's not going to tell you it's an identity or a contradiction. So we need to follow the same steps we used before. We need to undo the parentheses. How I do that is right here. Remember, we distribute the negative in here. And so that's going to give us 6y minus 3, right? Negative times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times negative y. Negative times a negative gives us a positive y equals 7y plus 2. Now, let's combine any like terms we can. Take a look over here. We have 6y plus y. 6y plus y gives us 7y minus 3 equals 7y plus 2. And again, you see these aren't really looking similar on either side. We have the 7y's. So our next step is to get the variable we're solving for on the same side. So we're going to subtract 7y and subtract 7y. Our 7y's cancel over here. Our 7y's cancel over here. And what we're left with is we're left with negative 3 equals 2, right? And so our variables dropped out and we were left with a false statement. So if our variables go away and we're left with two things that are not equal to each other, our answer to this one is that there's going to be no solution. So previously, when we had identities, it was all real numbers when they drop out and we get a true statement. When our variables drop out and we get a false statement, we know that these are not equal to each other, so the answer is no solution.